Over the last few years, I've gone down a bit of a rabbit hole with money and investing. I've picked up and read almost every single book that exists on this topic, from the all-time classics that teach you the fundamentals, like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, to the mindset and psychology-focused ones like Think and Grow Rich, and even to the more advanced ones that dive into investing strategies, such as One Up on Wall Street. And after immersing myself in all these different perspectives, in today's video, I want to break down the biggest lessons I've taken away from them. Some of these ideas honestly shocked me because they went completely against what I was taught in my day job in investment banking. And I'm really curious to know, do you share the same perspective or do you see it differently? Let's get into it. Let's start with the basics and the book that everyone has at least heard of. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This is the classic of classics, and when I finally read it, I completely understood why it has become so popular. It lays down the foundations of money and finance in a way that schools never teach us. The entire based around Robert Kiyosaki's story of having two dads. His real father, who followed the traditional path of getting a stable job, working hard, retiring with a pension, and then his best friend's dad, who was a high school dropout but built a business empire. That second dad thought very differently. He believed in independent thinking, in creating assets, and in buying things that make money for you. That was the very first time I came across the idea of assets and liabilities. Assets are things that put money into your pocket. Investments, stocks, real estate, side hustles, or even businesses that generate income for you. Liabilities, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. They drain money out of your pocket, and worse, they lose value over time. And here's where it really hit me. A lot of us grow up being told that buying your home is the biggest investment you'll ever make. But in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert explains that your home can actually become one of your biggest liabilities. Why? Because it ties you down with huge monthly payments that otherwise have been channeled into profitable opportunities. That lesson completely shifted the way I saw money. Suddenly, I wasn't just looking at what I was buying, but at whether it was actually working for me. Every single pound, every single dollar was like an employee. It either worked hard to bring more money back into my pocket, or it was lazy and costing me money. That one mindset shift made me see the real off between present day spending and future wealth. And trust me, once you see money this way, you can't unsee it. Now, Robert actually followed up Rich Dad, Poor Dad with another book called Cashflow Quadrant. And this is where he digs into something most people never stop to question: the different ways you can actually earn money. For most of us, growing up, the idea was simple: go to school, get good grades, find a job, work the 9 to 5, and that's the only way to secure your future. But this book showed me just how limited that thinking really is. The Cashflow Quadrant breaks down 4 categories: being an employee, being self-employed, being a business owner, or being an investor. And Robert makes a very bold point: if your only plan is to work as an employee, relying purely on a job, you might actually be putting yourself in the riskiest financial position possible. Because in that scenario, you're always trading your time for money. And time is the one thing you can never get back. Now, when I read Cashflow Quadrant, it completely opened my eyes. But I wanted something more actionable, something I could actually apply. And that's where another book came in, The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I'll be honest, when I first saw that title, I rolled my eyes. A 4-hour workweek, it sounded like clickbait. But when I read deeper, I realized it wasn't about working less. It was about working smarter. Tim explains how you can design a business that doesn't chain you to a desk, automate it, and then use that freedom to live the life you actually want now, not 40 years from now. And when I read that, I thought, wow, so much of what we accept as normal in work and money is just a choice. And then you have books like The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco, which honestly challenged me even more. He breaks down financial life into 3 paths: the sidewalk, the slow lane, and the fast lane. Most people live on the sidewalk, spending more than they earn, trapped paycheck to paycheck. Then there's the slow lane, which is the safe road: get a good job, save a little, invest steadily, retire when you're 65. It works, but it's painfully slow. And then finally, there's the fast lane: building systems, businesses, and products that keep generating income long after you've stopped working on them. That's when you stop trading time for money. And what I loved about this book is that while MJ says you can get rich quick, he doesn't sugarcoat it. It's not about magic or shortcuts. It's about years of learning, working, failing, and pushing harder than most people ever will. That's the reality behind the so-called overnight success. Then we have books like Think and Grow Rich, which tends to split people right down the middle. Some people love it, swear by it, and say it transformed their life. Others think it's all fluff and doesn't give you anything practical. For me, here's how I see it: success starts in the mind. If you believe that money is scarce, that wealth is for other people and not you, then that belief will shape every action you take. But if you believe abundance is possible, you will naturally align your actions with that belief. However, and this is a big however, mindset alone is not enough. You need action, structure, discipline. Otherwise, it's like having the best tools in the world but never building anything with them. I could go on, but you get the idea. Each of these books has of the puzzle. Some focus on psychology, some on strategy, some on systems. Together, they've helped me see money and investing in a way I was never taught before. And in this video, I want to bring those lessons together for you so that you can take what works and start applying it in your own journey.